At the Temple of Speed, it was the red car of Sebastian Vettel who takes pole position in front of a feverish Tifosi who cheered their German hero throughout the session, and he was the only driver to dip into the 121s. Continuing the trend of outpacing his teammate, Pierre Gasly will have to be satisfied with a front row start at just over a tenth and a half slower, but splitting the Scuderia with Ricciardo languishing in third, nearly 2 tenths off Vettel at the end of qualifying. Ricciardo started behind his teammate last time out in Hungary though, and we saw how that turned out. Max Verstappen said he was completely unsatisfied from 4th position on the grid, while Wehrlein will likely be thrilled with P5 in a struggling Mercedes. In 6th and 7th, it's the McLarens, Van Dorn ahead of Hamilton, but with lots of work to do for the reigning world champion if he wants to finish on the podium, and even more to do for the Hungarian Grand Prix winner. Giovinazzi impressed at his first home race, putting his Toro Rosso in P8, ahead of Aarava, who was over 6 tenths off the pole time. Rounding out the top 10 comes Carlos Sainz, with Perez and Schumacher the best of the rest, with free choice of tire compound in 11th and 12th position.
What's going, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to another episode of my F1 MyDriver career mode, episode number 5 today for season 3 at the Italian Grand Prix. If you missed out the last episode, episode number 4 at the Hungarian one, then do go click the card in the top right annotation right now. You can go check that out. But yeah, we're here at the Italian Grand Prix, obviously the home of Ferrari. They're on pole position. They'll be pretty damn happy. Obviously, with our car this year, we're a little bit down on power. In general, not that great in qualifying. We qualified down in 9th, which is quite unfortunate because the gap wasn't actually too much between myself and Pascal Wehrlein. It was just the fact that the qualifying was so close that we dropped down 3 positions by only being 1/10 slower. So unfortunate, but we'll see what we can do. It's obviously going to be the usual 2-stop race. We'll see how we go. We might put the prime tire in the middle, or I might just stick with the option in the middle stint. You know, basically seeing where we are. For around cars, it might be worth trying to push on that option tire first, or if we're not, we can try and maybe work something out on the prime tires. But definitely probably a 2-stop today, unless anything crazy happens or some rain comes down. You just never know. But right now it's all nice and sunny, and we're ready for our 5th round of this season. Already getting through the season quite a lot towards that kind of middle stage already, but we get towards 5 red lights for the 5th round this season. 27 laps ahead of us of Monza. We are away. Giovinazzi gets a great start on the right hand side. We've got a lot of wheel spin in 3rd gear there, and Sainz gets up on our right hand side, and Schumacher does as well in the Alfa Romeo. So it's been a while since we've seen him knocking about in the top 10. Double lock up as we don't want to hit the back of Sainz as we come through turn 1 and then 2, trying to maybe feed down the inside of Schumacher. Doesn't work. We've got Hulkenberg going around the outside of one of the Force Indies. The Force Indies looking a lot more racy this weekend as we go through the swooping right-hander and we try and chase down, which is Sainz, and he's been overtaken by Schumacher. So Schumacher making a blistering start right there in the Alfa Romeo. But as we cut later on to Parabolica on the end of lap 1, you can see Sainz still stuck behind the German, and now we come down, he's inside the Spaniard, and can we try and make this move down the straight? Again, we have to hold through and just keep the slipstream on Carlos Sainz. Can we make this move down into turn 1? Can be heavy braking, but here we go. You can see just the amount of speed that the Toro Rosso has, but he brakes a little bit in the middle of the straight for some reason. Have to dart out the way last minute, go down the inside of Mick Schumacher, and we go right side by side with him through turn 2. And can we get this on the exit? We should be able to. The Mercedes should have superior grip and traction over that Alfa Romeo, and we do, and we're back up into 9th place, our qualifying position, and now we have to try and chase down Lewis Hamilton. And as we move into lap 4, you can see we are closing him down slowly, but it's taking a few laps, but you can see there's a bit of a train ahead of him, so he might be able to use this kind of dirty air train to help us really close up. You can see Wehrlein, then from Van Dorn, Giovinazzi, Hamilton, then myself there, and we're really closing up. Hopefully in the next few laps we can try and use the DRS down the back straight, or even through Parabolica off Ascari, but we can't until lap 6. It is down the back straight with DRS. Hamilton's being kind of pushed away by the 2 cars battling for Wehrlein and Giovinazzi. They both lock up. I locked up a little bit, and Wehrlein goes side by side with Giovinazzi. I do the same to Hamilton. He's still on my inside there. He's still there in the mirrors. You can see on the overhead shot, you can get a clearer view now. We're going side by side through the curve on the right hand side. We're going to have to try and maybe squeeze him a little bit. We squeeze him towards the grass, just like Vettel and Alonso back in 2012, and we're just going to maybe hang this round, but no, Hamilton does brilliantly to hang it down the inside. He's got me, and we hit the curb and we lose the back end on the exit. So Hamilton has done absolutely fantastic to hold 8th place there, and we have to settle down back for 9th, compose ourselves and try to come back at him now, and on towards lap 7. That's exactly what happens. We've got DRS towards Ascari now. We close up, but we can't make a move into that corner, so we're going to have to stick through it and try and get a good exit off this left-hander. We do. Hamilton going a little bit slow. We're in the slipstream towards Parabolica up ahead. Giovinazzi makes a move on my teammate. I'm going to make a similar move on Hamilton as we move to the left-hand side of the circuit, and we've got that place, and we're up into 8th. And similarly, the Italian man is past my teammate Wehrlein, who seems to be struggling, and also Van Dorn's there in the mix. So those 3 having a quite nice battle up ahead, and Hamilton now on the exit. Parabolica will come back, and of course he will have DRS now, because I obviously crossed the line ahead of him in the DRS zone, so we squeeze him on to the right hand side very aggressively, and we just come back on the left to try and take the brake zone, and we go round the outside. Going to give him the room, but we'll do a bit of parking on the apex there, and we'll keep it in 8th place. But yeah, a bit annoying that how the DRS line kind of comes late enough that way I can pass Hamilton and he can get the DRS onto the back straight. I think that's going to be quite a feature in this race a lot of the time. We're making a lot of moves into Parabolica, but now we're into the pit stop phases on lap 8, and we're going to come on for a set of option tyres. So as I mentioned before, we could have maybe put on the primes, but as I also said at the beginning, if we're around cars, it's probably more worth to put on the faster tyre to keep the pace going and, you know, not get kind of bogged down on that prime tyre. So we go on option tyres, a yellow wall soft tyre, and we'll go on the primes at the end for around lap 16, lap 17, I would say, for that second pit stop. But as we come down on lap 10, you can see Wehrlein there coming out of the pit, so we have jumped our teammate Pascal Wehrlein, who was about, you know, at least 7/10 ahead of us on track. So that might mean we've also jumped Stoffel Van Dorn and Antonio Giovinazzi. So that's going to be pretty good for us. A nice undercut there by about 2 laps, because we put on lap 8 and that's lap 10 that Wehrlein's coming out there. So 2-lap undercut worked well for us. And now we cut onto lap 11. We're up into P6 right now as people have made their pit stops. But here comes Wehrlein down my inside of Ascari. We have to give him the room, so we have to kind of back off a little bit, go a little bit wayward in the middle of that corner, and we have to try and come back at him now. So a little bit unfortunate that he made the move there, but I just tried my best to stick with him, but we couldn't do it. So now we come down towards Parabolica. We'll get a good run. We'll have DRS, of course. There's the DRS activation point, the kind of detection point, I should say. And now we'll come through and wait for the activation point and open up that rear flap and get good speed on our teammate as Lynn comes into the pits there. So we're up into 6th now, and we're now up into 5th as we get Pascal Wehrlein on the left-hand side pretty easily. Obviously, being at Monza, it's always going to be a slipstream and DRS fest, but we've done the job there. We're up into 5th for now as we come through turn 2, but obviously Pascal will not be giving up that position too easily as we cut onto lap 16. It's taken a few laps for Wehrlein to kind of compose himself to come back at me, but now in the same exact place down the inside of me to Ascari. Should have learnt my lesson, should have defended the inside, but no, as we come through I need to kind of let off the throttle as I was going to hit Wehrlein. That allows Hamilton to come back at me. Now we go side by side through the exit, and we'll just have the legs on him, but he'll have DRS crucially on towards the exit of Parabolica, but we'll have DRS on Pascal. So this might be a bit of a poor situation for Pascal Wehrlein, as he might be overtaken by 2 cars here. As we swing round the right-hander, we'll have the DRS there. Hamilton will as well, so he'll get a double toe. So this will be very interesting to see who comes out on top here. Here we go, the DRS wide open, getting the toe from Wehrlein, where we're going to move to the right-hand side, and Gasly comes out. That's so close, in between Pierre Gasly and Pascal Wehrlein. So close there. If you slow it down, that would have been very close to both cars. Bit of a sandwich there, but we're up into 3rd at the moment. Of course, Gasly making an early pit stop there. We're yet to make our pit stop, so it won't be 3rd as we make our pit stop. So, you know, the Red Bull cars, the Ferraris, very much ahead of us. They've got those top 4 positions locked down. So the best we're hoping for today will be 5th place, hopefully. So now on to lap 17, though. Again, same place, but this time I learned my lesson. I go to the inside of Ascari now. Wehrlein's going to try it around the outside. He does so, but he's gone wide. He's gone deep. He's gone to the gravel. So Pascal Wehrlein's got that horribly wrong there, and I completely learned my lesson from last time. I went down the inside of the fence, but I gave him enough room. He even saw his tyre go alongside me. So on the replay here, let's see what happens. Pascal goes around the outside. Look at that. He completely misjudges the speed you're meant to take when you're trying to go around the outside. He didn't brake at all, really, like I did when he went down my inside, and so he just completely got that wrong. So in my opinion, I didn't do anything wrong. I gave him enough space, I felt, but we'll see how it goes on the debrief after the race with Toto Wolff. But we made our pit stop now on lap 18, I think that was, for the prime tyre set. So a medium wall tyre, white wall tyre. So we're going to go to the end on this set. I think that's McLaren right behind us. I think that is, yes, that is the McLaren. I believe it's Lewis Hamilton there, and Van Dorn's gone one more lap, I think. But we come out in 9th place at the moment. Lean in 8th, yet to make a pit stop ahead of us. As we cut onto lap 20 now, Hamilton's coming back at us now down the inside of Ascari. This time we brake early to try and get a bit of a kind of nicer line into this corner. It's really worked out. You can see the driver got off that corner by braking early and kind of getting that tighter line through there. Now we slipstream Hamilton. Van Dorn's right behind us. He moves to the left. I move to the right now. We go down the inside of Hamilton into Parabolica. He makes a good brake zone of it though, and we're going side by side through the entry and middle part of it, but we'll just get him on the exit. And now Van Dorn Dorn is joining us for company, and Giovinazzi looking around with some DRS. We're going 4 cars, all covered by basically 2 tents here, and Giovinazzi goes on my right-hand side. He's taken all of us there. So the Italian man in the Toro Rosso, the home crowd favourite, has just overtaken 3 cars there in the span of one straight in his Toro Rosso, and he's up into bloody 5th place. We're down to 6th. Hamilton behind us, Van Dorn then in what will be 7th place, I think that is, and we're now chasing after the Italian, trying to slipstream. Can we make a move into the next corner, the chicane? We're going the right hand side, he squeezes onto the grass. It's not worked, we've tapped, we've locked up, and we're going to have to maybe give the position to Hamilton. Yes we do, and we just about park it ahead of Van Dorn, but that really did not work out for us. We locked up quite horribly, allowed us to leave that position to Hamilton, and now onto lap 21. We come back at him though. We'll have DRS, he'll have DRS on Giovinazzi, so you have to see, this might be a double overtake in terms of both of us overtaking Giovinazzi. Here he goes, Hamilton on the right, I move to the left, both with DRS. Giovinazzi absolute sitting duck there with DRS, and now Hamilton really good on the brakes there into turn 1. He locks up though a little bit. We'll go side by side through turn 2, and we'll just about try and get it on the exit, but Hamilton really has some superior traction there at McLaren, and he's up into 4th place. And that's actually interesting, 4th place, only 18 runners in the race, so someone up ahead, one of the Red Bulls or Ferraris, is out of this race as there's only 18 runners, and we're fighting for 4th, and I mentioned before the top 4 were locked down, so someone is out of this Grand Prix. But as it stands, we're in the slipstream of Hamilton here towards Parabolica on lap 22. We've only got a few laps left of this Grand Prix, down the inside cleanly there, and we're up into 4th place. Ricardo is 3rd, and I believe Pierre Gasly's in 1st place, so not too sure who's actually out at this stage of the Grand Prix. But as we go down the pit straight on the same lap, Hamilton comes right back at us, so just like we had before in the race, the fact that he's behind us on the DRS detection point means he gets DRS for this straight. But we go down the inside, we go really deep, and what on earth is happening? Giovinazzi has just taken both of us around the outside. What? Excuse me, how has that happened? He's gone right there from the outside of both of us, and Hamilton has taken me down the inside. We're down to 6th. How on earth has that actually worked? And now right behind Hamilton, can we make a move down the inside? We're going to look at it down the inside, side by side through the chicane, and we know we've touched the gravel, and now Van Dorn is behind us looking at us in the mirrors. But what crazy racing this has been at the Italian Grand Prix. I'm still in disbelief. How has the Italian gone around the outside of us for the inside of turn 1, then the outside of turn 2? I don't know how that's actually worked and how he got the space there, but now we've gone down the inside of Hamilton, down the end of Parabolica. I feel like I've said that a lot in this race because it's happened so many times. But now onto lap 24 towards Ascari. This is Hamilton coming back at us down the inside to Ascari. This time, can we make it around the outside? We try and hang it through, and this time we have successfully done that for the first time in this race, but we've lost the back end on the exit down to this back straight towards Parabolica. We've lost a heap of momentum, and now Hamilton goes to the left, and that's Van Dorn in the mirrors. He goes to the right hand side of the circuit. We're going to make it 3 wide into Parabolica. Look at this. We got also, I think that's Hulkenberg for company in the Alfa Romeo behind us. We're 3 wide through the entirety of Parabolica, and as we go into the straight, we slipstream Stoffel Van Dorn, and we try and go on the right hand side off the circuit a little bit. There's Hulkenberg darting around so much. Van Dorn at the moment leading this pack. Hamilton behind me, Hulkenberg behind me. Try and go down the inside of Van Dorn, but we've gone very, very deep, and Van Dorn will do the switch back on us and go around the outside, and that will be that place for 5th, I think that is, and we're going to settle for 6th. And at the moment, Hulkenberg's overtaken Hamilton, and he's up into 7th, so brilliant stuff for the German in the Alfa Romeo team. So far, so he's been done by his teammate Mick Schumacher, so that will be really great for him to get a whole load of points on his teammate there. On to lap 26, 2 laps to go as we go towards Ascari. DRS, slipstream to the right hand side of the circuit. Should be a very easy move on Stoffel Van Dorn, and we're back up into 5th, but the question is, can we hold on to this? Because he's going to have DRS now as we go on towards lap 27. So that is going to be the $1 million question right now. But at the moment, Giovinazzi nowhere to be seen. He's in 4th. And as we come to lap 27, Van Dorn completely taking us down the inside of the Ascari. It's going to have to be do or die right now as we make a beautiful exit on towards the back straight towards Parabolica. Can we overtake Stoffel Van Dorn round at the outside? I wonder. We go to the left-hand side. Pierre Gasly has won the Italian Grand Prix. We go around the outside of the Belgian man, and it looks like we'll just hang it through for 5th place. Yes, we will on the exit. Van Dorn tucks in behind us, and we will come through for 5th place. A very hard-fought 5th place, but wow, what a Grand Prix that was. And Pierre Gasly, a dominant win there. But Giovinazzi, I think the driver of the day, the story of the day, 4th place, absolutely unbelievable. He completely did me and Hamilton round the outside into the chicane. That was beautiful to watch. But Pierre Gasly has a bit of a resurgence here, 25 points in the bag. Ricciardo 2nd and Max Verstappen 3rd place, rounds out the podium positions. We get 5th. Van Dorn, my championship rival from last season, in 6th place. And Hamilton behind Hulkenberg there, 7th place. Brilliant for the German to get 7th for Alfa Romeo here at the Italian Grand Prix as well. Carlos Sainz 8th and Kevin Magnussen, I think that was, rounding out the top 10. But this is getting a bit silly. Sebastian Vettel has DNF'd again. I know it's like a running gag and a running joke now in the comments of how poor Vettel's bad luck is. And let me just set the record straight, guys. I do nothing to the drivers. I do not modify the drivers' driving. I do not do anything to the drivers. I modify the car performance, and that is it. Whatever their AI do is up to them. So Vettel, I just don't know what it is, but his AI is just crazy. He just keeps on DNFing. That's such poor luck from him. So I'm hoping at some point he'll get some good luck and come back into this championship, because at the moment Ricciardo's absolutely doing him in his brand new Ferrari. So yeah, I just found that funny again, a DNF from there. And unlucky, Mick Schumacher got a DNF after a brilliant fight in the first stint, but I think he might have maybe crashed with Sebastian Vettel, perhaps. But guys, if you have enjoyed that video, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And you around here, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been Aarava. That was an absolutely enjoyable and stunning Italian Grand Prix. I'll leave you with the post-race interviews. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
So a very close race out there, and even though it wasn't maybe the position you were hoping for, considering the car's pace in qualifying and all weekend, you must be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how the race went. As you said, with qualifying, just the car was down on power, as it has been a little bit this season. You know, the Renault guys and the Ferrari guys have worked hard, and we're still trying to catch them up, but this was definitely going to be the biggest damage limitation race of the season. And also, it was so close in qualifying. You know, I was only, I think a couple of tenths off Wehrlein, and I was down a few positions, so it was very, very close out there in qualifying, and that showed in the race, because we were very, very close. You know, last few laps, and we were going 3-1 to Parabolica, which was an awesome battle to have with the McLarens. It's been kind of nice to be back there fighting with them, because we haven't actually seen much of them, and especially with Stoffel at the end, just got him, which was really satisfying. So yeah, I'm pretty happy as a whole, and yeah, considering how fast the cars were in a straight line, especially that Toro Rosso was like a rocket ship.
It seems like today you guys took a step forward and generally seemed on par with McLaren. Would you agree?
Yeah, as I just mentioned, having a fight with them was really nice to be kind of back up there. So I think, yeah, even though we were, down on power and seemingly in qualifying, still nowhere near the Ferraris and Red Bulls enough in qualifying, and during the race especially, they got away from us. Definitely taking a step forward to match McLaren, who were also maybe feeling a little bit down. Obviously, both our teams spending a lot more on resources for last season, so we're trying to catch these guys up, and hopefully we can do later on in the season. But yeah, good that we definitely have caught them up and are a bit level with them now.
And there were some gasps in the paddock when Wehrlein, your teammate, went wide at Ascari. Last race you said all was well behind closed doors. Has that changed at all? I know Toto Wolff didn't seem too happy earlier.
No. Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything to like going on or to discuss. I don't know. Wehrlein tried something around the outside, and I gave him enough room. I felt I'm not going to give him the entire track. I had to stay on the racing on the racetrack myself. Otherwise, I would have just had to gone across right over the curb. So I gave him enough room. I think he just couldn't get it right. So I think if he has an issue, then he'll come to me afterwards when we talk about it in the race pen back in the motorhome. But I don't see any issue. And if Toto has anything to say to me, I guess it'll be said. But for now, I don't think there's anything to discuss.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, thanks a lot. Cheers.